War rages across the mortal realms. New alliances are formed while others lie shattered, and the dominant powers ever seek their next conquest. While this and countless other battles rage on, one fact is becoming clear. The season of war has begun. This video is brought to you by the support of our channel members and the FLGS Partners, Warfire Minis, and X-Planet. Baron of Dice is the exclusive dice supplier for Season of War. Take a look through their incredible designs or even get your own custom dice made.
Hello and welcome to Season of War! Today we are excited to bring you another game of Age of Sigmar. My name's Jordan, I am joined by Mark today. Excited for this match, Mark, because we got some new stuff to show.
Yeah, I'm so excited. The Pariahs are here. The Croneseer Pariahs. Yeah, it's very exciting.
And we do have to say a big thank you to Games Workshop for sending us an early release copy of the latest Dawnbringers book. It's, again, allows us to film this content in advance, get the models and stuff painted on the table so we can show it off. So we're super excited for it. Thank you, Games Workshop, and hope you're looking forward to this as much as we are. But then let's get into things.
The battle plan is lines of communication.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep, so it's pretty standard with this one. We'll hold one, hold two, hold more storing. Whoever's going second in the battle round gets to choose a phase of the round, and on a 3-up, if their opponent spends CP in that phase, it's ignored or lost. Hence the lines of communication are broken.
Yeah.
But that's it for the mission. And Mark, do you want to take us through your list then?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited. So, welcome to the new way of playing Daughters of Khaine. The Army of Renowned is what I'm taking today. So, some interesting things that are happening in the list is we got Doomfires now that are battle line. It's got 2 units of those, 2 squads of 5. And then I have 2 units of 20 Witch Elves, 2 units of 10 Witch Elves, along with 2 Cauldrons, both with Slaughter Queens, and our Croneseer Pariah. The Croneseer Pariah, yeah. Croneseer, I guess. I'm always messing up her name, but the Croneseer, yeah, is the new model. And she's exciting. She can do a lot of really cool things. She can make things count as nothing on the objective. She can make things move in the hero phase. She can make it so no one can receive any commands within 3. So some really interesting tech with her for sure. You'll see a lot of really interesting prayers. I also brought in a unit of Shadow Stalkers. The reason for them is there's a grand now with this AOR that makes them really useful and very easy to achieve.
For your grand strategy?
For the grand strategy, yeah. So it makes the grand very easy to achieve. It's to have a unit wholly within 6 inches of your opponent's long edge battlefield. So pretty useful and pretty easy to get when you have a unit that can teleport anywhere on the board, which is nice. I also brought in here the Snake, because I just love this model. The Endless Spell from Daughters of Khaine, and I also brought in the Invocation. Reduces damage by 1 against Stormcast. Could be really, really quite something. And that's pretty much my list.
Awesome, and then to face off against them, I am playing Stormcast Eternals. I want to give a shout out to one of our channel members, Space Curves on Discord, who gave me some suggestions or ideas to play Stormcast, and I didn't have the exact same models and stuff from his list, but I'm running a couple of the same units and some of the same synergies and whatnot. So to go through things, I've got 4 heroes in this loadout. I'm playing Hallowed Knights, so obviously I've brought Gardas here to give his nice 5-up ward bubble. I do have Ionis, as you mentioned. I then have a Lord Celestant on Dracoth, who has the Luck Stone, which makes for some interesting opportunities. And then I do have a Lord Arcanum on Griff Charger as my general. The model is only in a box set, and I haven't been able to get my hands on it. And I've just been waiting. It's the best or the most common general in Stormcast you see people running right now.
For sure.
So I did have to proxy it here with a Knight Judicator, but just imagine he's on a big
Griffin.
Bird horse.
Yeah, bird horse, yeah.
But he does have Shaman of the Chilled Lands. My grand strat is Spellcast and Savant, so I gotta keep him alive, but obviously with the teleport, that makes it a little easier. In the rest of the list though, I do have 3 units of 5 Vindictors. I am Stormkeep in this list, so from the 3rd battle round on, they will count as 3 models on the objectives. And then I have 2 units of Vigilors for a little bit of shooting and to get, their nice buff of getting +1 to hit against that target for the rest of the turn. And then the last unit in here is perhaps the biggest and scariest. I have a unit of 10 protectors, 4 with Star Soul maces, so we got some mortal wound output there, and then some good damage, obviously, from their big weapons. But that's it for me today, Mark. I came in at 2 drops here. You were a bunch more than I was, because I think you had a Warlord Battalion.
Yeah, I had a Warlord Battalion here, mainly so I could put Curse and several of the prayers on a lot of the my 2 Slaughter Queens and my Croneseer. And I actually forgot, I do have a High Gladiatrix just hiding, decorated way over there as well, yeah.
Nice. Well, with that, it did leave me with choice of who goes first. And I don't see much reason for me to take it here, besides getting closer to you so you can hit me hard.
Yeah.
But we're gonna give it away then, and we'll jump into Daughters of Khaine, turn 1.
All right. So my battle tactic is going to be Surround Destroy, and my heroic action is going to be for a CP. Ah, we got one.
I'll go for heroic leadership as well, and I also get it.
Yeah, awesome.
And for the phase, I'm going to disrupt. I'll just choose the combat phase.
Combat phase makes sense.
In the hero phase, the Croneseer uses Prophecy of Dark Wings to allow a unit of Witch Elves to move. Then she chants for Auspicious Strike on them, causing melee hit rolls of 1 against them to reflect that weapon's damage. One cauldron then chants for Wings of the Crone Goddess to allow the Doomfire Warlocks to move, while the other cauldron chants to summon the Heart of Fury. The Doomfire Warlocks then attempt to cast the Bloodrack Viper, but are unbound. Heading into the movement phase, the Daughters of Khaine prepare for a central engagement, but also set up and position for their battle tactic. Want to help the channel add new armies and units? Consider tossing over a super chat or super thanks to chip in towards our latest goal.
So that's the end of Daughters of Khaine turn 1. Tried to be a bit ambitious. Picked a battle tactic that...
One you wanted to get out of the way early.
Yeah, one I wanted to get out of the way early, for sure. It was Surround to Destroy, and yeah, did some things a little bit oddly. on my own fault. I really wanted to try and see what the fun of like teleporting these guys forward, getting the snake off, and having it chomp off a couple things. Yeah. Because I rolled 3 dice and it's auto slay if it's equal to or greater than their wound characteristic.
And so good against elite stuff like this.
For sure. So I was really excited to try and pop it off. Unfortunately, I got unbound, so they kind of meant that they were just there. I knew I was going to have to pull them off the objective, but I unfortunately didn't have the movement to get anything onto this objective outside of the unit that I had already moved up in with the Croneseer's Burnt Offering, which is really cool. There might be some interesting things I can still do to even grab another objective during Jordan's turn, because Burnt Offerings can happen at the start of any hero phase, so that means that, you know, some interesting things I can do where I can potentially move them over. I'm happy with 4 points, only dropping 1 to wait for my opponent to come and try and take me on. So that's actually not the worst thing ever. Got Auspicious Strike off, got pretty much all the prayers off that I needed, and it's kind of the luxury of prayers.
Yeah, you can't stop them.
You can't stop them.
That's a scary one.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how this turns, I guess. We'll see how this turns out. Yeah. Cool.
Well, with that, we're going to answer and go into Stormcast turn 1. So for my battle tactic, I'm actually going to go for Legend to the Maelstrom, and then I'll just try and generate a command point, which I get.
I will try and generate a command point, I guess, as well. I do.
Nice.
Put that on my general.
For spellcasting, my Lord Arcanum is going to cast a Mystic Shield, which I'll get on an 8, and I'll throw a Primal at that to make it an 11.
Try and unbind it with this lady here. Getting a 6, get 8. Nah, it's okay, you go ahead.
So we'll put that on the Lord Celestant, and then I'm going to cast just Celestial Blades, I think. We'll get that on an 8.
Try to unbound with my second Slaughter Queen. No. I'll throw a Primal in it, just for the no.
Okay, well we got Celestial Blades, and we'll put that on the Protectors.
Sweet.
And then Ionis is just going to auto-chant, so just one prayer, to translocate himself. He's So just gonna go hunting for some warlocks. And then into movement.
Don't forget you can get access to 4 extra battle reports every month by supporting the channel through our YouTube membership. Hit the join button below the video to learn more. As the Stormcast Eternals surround their foe, the witches redeploy at the last minute and fall back 5 inches.
Alright, then into shooting. I'm going to shoot with this unit of Vigilors. 4 of them are in range of your back unit of 10 witches there. We'll go for all-out attack here because I have so many CP. So 3s, 2s now, and 3s. This is going to be 7 at rend 1.
Whew. That's a lot of saves. 7 4-ups. Oof, only 3 saves. 6 ups because they still get their faith, nothing. So 4 dead.
And that's actually all the shooting I'm going to do, just to not make my battle tactic any harder with any charges. We're going to charge first with these Vindictors. For a 6, I'm going to have to re-roll that. Into a 6, I'm going to fail my battle tactic.
Oh, redeploy was a big one.
I'm then going to go for a charge with Ionis. And I failed that as well. So I think that's going to be it for my turn then.
Oh, no.
Devastating. You think a unit right in front of your face, see that you want to, a little roadblock screen. I'm like, okay, that's so close. I'll just charge that. But a 5-inch redeploy and a couple failed charges, and there's a failed battle tactic. So
Yeah.
I will get hold 2 and hold more, so I'll get 3 points. But when I hope to capitalize and be up a point, I'm now down a point instead. So
For sure.
that's less than ideal. I teleported Ionis, just wanting to go take out a unit, deal with a threat, start whittling your stuff down. He's still pretty safe out there. So kind of nothing really happened for me. I opted not to shoot there even. Also with the Adjudicators, just to not let you pull models and make my tactic harder. But yeah, that's not great. Honestly, as soon as you did that redeploy, I'm like, I was setting up Ionis because I was going to charge him first, and if he got it, I was not going to send my Lord Celestant in. Now, after the redeploy, I didn't even want to send the Lord Celestant in at all, just because it's so exposed.
Oh, I got to roll for the heart. It does explode.
Okay.
The heart would have gone away, but that's in combat, so
Yeah.
it's after your charges.
Yeah, so the heart's drawn at least. And then I guess, again, we're just looking at priority now. Not much happening round 1. That's a 6.
That's a cocked. Oh, that's a 1. That's all you. Good time to capitalize, for sure.
Yeah, I want to give away the turn, but I also feel like you can hit me pretty hard. And I am going to take the turn here, I think. Just a little bit scared of a full frontal assault, with just pushing all the witches in.
For sure.
And keeping me off the objective. So we're going to take the turn and go into Stormcast, turn 2.
So I'm going second. I got to figure out what I'm going to disrupt, and I think I'm going to disrupt the combat phase.
Well, jumping into things, my battle tactic, I did set up to do magical dominance here, so we'll do that now. I'm going to go for a command point with heroic leadership, which I get.
I'm going to go for, again, another CP. No CP. Start of the turn, so I don't forget this again. I got to do my burnt offering. Burnt offering this time will be no command points again to anything that's within 3 inches of this unit here on a 2-up. Oh, so no, actually that does not go off. Start of the turn, I'll also do a rally with my witch elves. Bring it back 2.
Nice. And for spellcasting, I'm not in range of much relevant, so I'm just gonna go for a Mystic Shield. I'm gonna get that on a 12 and put that on Dardus. Then Ionis is just gonna auto chant for Bless to give himself a 6-up ward. And I'm off to movement. All right, now let's do some shooting, hopefully better than last turn. We'll start with the unit of Vigilors again. They'll use all-out attack and shoot at the Doomfire Warlocks. So we 2s and 3s. I'll hit. So 7 at rend 1.
Oof, nothing. And 6s. Okay. Let's go. 1 dead, 1 with 1 wound.
My Dracoth is then going to shoot at the witches in behind at the back of the objective. 4 up, and he misses. Then the other unit of Vigilors is going to shoot at that same unit. 3s. It's going to be 6 at rend 1.
Saving this on 5s. Ooh, making some clutch saves. 6s.
1 damage.
1 dead. All right, making some really nice saves.
Then Ionis is going to shoot at your unit of witches back there. So 3s and 3s. It's going to be 4 at rend 2.
Go straight through.
So 1 damage each.
Looking for 6s. Nada.
4 dead and their soul burned. Oof. And then not to be forgotten, Gardas has his war cloak, which is going to have 6 shots. And he'll again hit that back unit of 10 witches. 3s and 3s. It's going to be 4 at rend 1.
Saving again on 5s. Making 2, and then on 6s. 2 more. His cloak hits us.
And then charges. We'll go with Ionis first, and he makes it into the Doomfire Warlocks.
On a 3-up. Let's see if it happens. It does. So it happens. 2d6. I get to run away with those Doomfires. I get to run away 8 inches.
Oh, so annoying. Then we're going to charge with the Protectors. Getting a 10.
Ooh, that's big. That's very big.
Then on to combat. Obviously, after you redeploy, you don't even get a monstrous action.
Yeah.
So we're to start off combat with the Lord Celestant, I think.
First to fight, the Lord Celestant deals 7 damage to the witches, but suffers 2 mortal wounds because of Auspicious Strike. The Protectors are then interrupted from using all-out defense when the other unit of witches attack, and they deal 3 wounds to fell a paladin. As the battle rages over the central objective, both forces suffer numerous casualties, though Ionis is only able to take down a single warlock. The Protectors then look to tie up both reserved units of witches, but they suffer 3 casualties, though 2 more paladins flee to battle shock.
All right, Stormcast turn 2 was all right. The retreat with the Doomfires was super good there to keep them alive. Meant I only got one of my attack profiles in with Ionis, and he just didn't do enough damage. 3 damage.
Called Skill Skirmisher, so it's a really cool ability.
It is really
on
cool.
A 3-up. I know it's on a 3-up, so it is dicey, but the 2d6 runaway is pretty tight.
Yeah, it was nice, and it kept them alive here. And again, my shooting just didn't really do too much. I was just trying to look at chip wounds here and there, work your units down. I basically, with kind of the positioning in this mission, I can't really avoid you, and I wouldn't mind kind of playing the avoidance game for a little bit.
Yeah.
So without being able to do that, I decided to tag all your units with my Protectors, hoping I could get an all-out defense off, which you did not allow me to get off because it was disrupted. Meaning that I actually lost 3 in combat, which wasn't ideal, but I'm just trying to keep you tied up so you can't push to the outer objectives.
Totally.
So trying to prevent you from scoring as much as possible. And even I started pulling casualties from the front, so you're still not going to get a ton of attacks in. Just trying to be annoying with those guys more than anything, rather than actually do the work with them. I then rolled the Battle Shock because I only have 1 CP left, and I want the chance to use all out defense next turn and a potential Inspiring Presence, so I wanted to save the CP. But I rolled a 6, so I had 2 dice flee, which was less than ideal. And with all that told, again, I'm getting 5 points here, so I'll be up to 8, and hopefully gonna try and limit your storing or make it hard for you to store.
Yeah.
We'll see if it pans out though. And Mark,
sure.
I guess we'll just jump into Daughters of Khaine, turn 2.
Let's do it. So I'm going to try and intimidate the invaders, and I'm going to see if I get a CP. No.
I'll go for heroic leadership as well, which I also fail.
And we're going to see if my burnt offering works. I'll go for the no command on 2-up. No. I do not get it. Morheg is not listening to us today. Well, let's try and cast
One unit of Doomfire Warlocks casts the Bloodrack Viper, while the other unit casts Doomfire and deals 1 mortal wound to Ionis. The Cauldrons then chant for Curse on the Protectors, an Auspicious Strike on the Witches, while the Croneseer chants for the Heart of Fury.
I'm going to spend a CP, my last CP, to make this unit fight in the hero phase. 40 of these! So hitting on 3s, winning on 2s. 9 mortals so far. Winning on 2s. 13. 13 saves for me at -1.
So 3s. Just 1 goes through. But then with the 9 mortals, I will ward 4 of them. You kill 2.
End of phase, I gotta move him. He moves 9. So yeah, I'll do the auto kills on the Vanquishers in the back there. So on 2s, 3 of them dead.
Ouch.
So that's it for my hero phase shenanigans. On to movement.
Soul burn.
Yeah.
On a 2. Yes. D3 mortals. 2 mortal wounds.
Save 1, 1 dead.
Yay.
After the Warlocks draw near, 1 unit of Vindictors redeploys, falling back 4 inches.
Shooting attack here from this Cauldron into the Protectors. 1 mortal wound and 2 hits. 1 wound, -1.
Save it and then ward. Save it.
Nice. Second Cauldron, same target. 2 mortals and nada.
2 mortals. Take 2.
Okay, on to charges.
The Cauldron deals 2 mortal wounds on impact, but then suffers 3 mortals from the Stormcast Shield of Civilization.
End of charge phase into the Vanquishers there on a, was it 2-up? Stomp? Yes, for D3.
The snake gets monstrous action.
For 3 mortals.
3 mortals. I'm out of range, so you'll kill 2 and take the objective by 1.
It's so good! I love the snake. I'm gonna roll for the heart, see if the heart pops off. Stays. We're good.
In combat, the first unit of Witches attacks the Protectors, but only takes 1 down, though they also finish off 3 Vindictors. The Cauldron then finishes off the lone Vindictor, while the Stormcast forces deal a combined 9 damage to the Witches, and 4 more flee to Battle Shock.
Bloody turn. Everything went kind of the plan. I was really expecting with the curse off to do more damage than I seemingly did
Yes.
in the previous turn, which seemed weird.
You did a lot in the hero, a good amount in the hero phase, but your combat, I just rolled hot on my saves and wards.
Yeah, it was great. So it's interesting that like it's hard to judge, I guess, how much output is going to be there. Auspicious Strike was great. Just doing splash mortals back all the time to my opponent was really important to get the snake off. I was super happy. The snake did wonderful things.
It took you that objective single-handedly.
Yeah, it killed an entire unit on its own. It literally did 10 damage.
Yeah.
Or no, close to, because of the
You
shooting.
did like,
9 damage probably, yeah.
You slayed 3, and I had taken a mortal at some point, or damage, or the
damage
Warlocks
from here.
dealt 1, and then
Yeah.
it dealt 3 on a stomp.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So that winning me that on the end was just, yeah, absolutely vital. And it means that now I feel like I have this side of the board pretty well. Still have to be concerned about, obviously Ionis is no joke. He owns this. So yeah, happy overall with how the turn went. Got the things I needed to get off. Happy to have the heart there and up. Definitely reduced a lot of the output.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah, probably
important.
saved 4 damage, I think it was.
Yeah, pretty significant. So overall, pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see though with Prio. I'm gonna end up losing. It's the nature of Witch Elves, I think, is that they go in, they hit.
You spend them.
You spend them. And the ones that I've been spending, I feel like has been spent well as far as eliminating Protectors, eliminating kind of getting control of that center objective. They're being spent wisely, I think. So overall, pretty happy with it. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, definitely solid. Definitely scary for me right now. But as you said, Prio
determines everything.
That's a 1.
That's a 6.
I think opposite of last time.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty brutal. Yeah, I guess. Why not? Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a tricky one for sure. I am definitely going to be taking the turn. Just thinking about battle tactics now. Yeah.
All right, so we'll jump into Daughters of Khaine, turn 3.
Start of the turn. I'm going to try and do Lead into Maelstrom. I'm going to try and also do a heal for my heroic action. Over here with my Cauldron, I do for 1.
I think I'll go for Heroic Recovery on Ionis as well.
Yeah.
Or actually, I'll go for Finest Hour with my Dratoth, my Lord Celestant. That'll be my Locus. So I'll try to unbind the snake. Got it.
Cool. Bye. It was fun having you. Start of phase, doing the burnt stuff on a 2-up. I'm gonna go with no commands. Yes. So you get no commands to anything that is within 3, the Cauldron. And prayers. So curse on Gardas. Yes.
Got it.
Cursed. Curses, Gardas, curses.
We're gonna try and do Auspicious Strike. Cocked. Goes off. 4. I'm gonna go on the other witches. It's a bit of protection for them. So I'll do the flying one, the Cauldron. Goddess of the Wing. Goes off. That's it for my prayers. Spells. Doomfire from these guys. Getting a 5. And that just doesn't go off. I'm definitely going to try and do Mystic Shield from here. Getting a 6.
You can have it.
Woohoo! Hero Face, going to spend a CP. Make them fight, because why not? 8 Nargila saves at Ren 1.
He's dead.
On to moving.
As the Daughters of Khaine forces move in, the Lord Arcanum redeploys, moving 5 inches closer to the action.
I sense Blizzard is coming. Okay, shooting now. Starting with all of those boys there. They're gonna shoot at the guy who's cursed.
The Doomfire Warlocks deal no damage in shooting, while the 2 Cauldrons deal a combined 2 damage to Gardas. Then the other Warlocks and the Shadow Stalkers deal 2 wounds to the Vindictors.
Doomfire is gonna go in. Jumping into combat.
The Cauldron is first to attack, and it sends Gardas Steel Soul back to Azir.
On a 2-up, he fights on death. He fights on death.
Cool.
We're gonna go into the Cauldron. 3s. And 3s. 2 at Ren 1.
Run 1, so back up to 5s. Made 1, 6 up. Made it.
Gardas fights on death, but deals no damage.
No damage.
Oh,
Next to fight, the Lord Celestant deals 3 damage to the witches, then he quickly goes down from their retaliation. Lastly, the Vigilers deal 2 damage to the Cauldron, then the Doomfire Warlocks fail to deal any damage.
Okay, Battle Shock. I have no CP. I have to run for it. So I got 5 on a whatever. Let's see. We're good.
Oh, rude.
Yes, yes.
I'd love to sit there. That's what I was hoping. And I disrupted the battle shot phase
For that reason.
to hopefully try. That's one way, obviously, to get back in it and reduce your witches.
For sure. It's the best way to deal with Daughters of Khaine, for sure. Like, Battle Shock phase with witches is really painful because they die very quickly. I've just got real lucky with those rolls for running away, rolling them low. The no command has been real sweet. Glad and again, my instinct was like, oh, Gardas only has 3 wounds left on him. Most people would be like, Why would you throw all attacks into there? Because
Yeah.
the cauldron's swinging.
Oh
right?
yeah, and he was on. I had missed a shield, so
Yeah,
2-up save, 5-up ward is very unreliable to get through, right?
exactly. It's neither here nor there, so it's one of those things where you're like, I'd rather just pump all the quantity
for
of
what you're
attacks.
sure of, yeah.
Yeah, and just eliminate them off the board. Very happy I did that, just because it meant that he doesn't survive, right? And that's a biggie.
And you're not too worried about the Vigilors.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not too worried. Killing Gardas for that, getting rid of that ward is essential here, especially with what I have on the table and what I'm going into. I am spending a lot of tactics that I'd rather not spend early on.
Yeah.
That's kind of the nature of this book, I think, and the tactics that are there. I have to have now that cauldron be alive, ideally. And right now, board state-wise, I'm in a good spot, but as we know, Blizzard is a thing.
Yes, yeah. I redeployed to put myself in better
within
range for that.
for sure. And it's a great idea because you kind of have to.
Yeah, I need something big like that to
For sure.
make a big dent.
To make a big
But-
dent and swing it back. For sure.
Yeah, so you'll get your 5 points.
Yep. Yeah. Hold one, hold two, one more.
Yeah, so gotta keep trying to catch up, but we'll see how it goes as we jump into Stormcast turn 3. So my battle tactic is going to be Intimidate the Invaders, automatic here. I'm just going to go for a command point, which I fail.
I'm going to do my offering. So on 2-up. Yes. So I can move her now. Now I'm within 6. I can empty it to do another one, which happens on a 2-up. It does. I'm going to make these guys, so only a hero or a monster can contest this objective. Now that cauldron's empty. Now I'm going to empty the cauldron
For the heroic action.
for the heroic action, and I just do flat d6 mortal wounds to that unit. 3.
All right, you kill a guy.
Cool. And then on a 4-up, I'm going to pop my artifact to do this on a 3-up to fill up the cauldron again. And it does. Weird interaction. It's a weird artifact. It just makes it so it's 1 easier to be able to fill it back up.
So what is the
The filled cauldron do gives me a 4-up ward against all shooting, and then gives me everyone who's
Minus
in
one
the
to hit.
raid
Yeah.
in the blood shield minus 1 to
Yeah.
hit.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some spell casting then. We gotta start off with a big blizzard. 4, 8. 2 primals. 8, 13.
Oh,
18. Good roll there.
it's a really good roll. Okay, and try and unbind it. Let's see what we can do. We got a 7,
11.
11,
12. You can only tie.
Oh, I can only tie?
Yeah.
Lizard.
So I'll throw the blizzard into the cauldron. 4d6 mortal wounds. I'm gonna take 2d3 back, but it's gonna be 10 into the cauldron.
So needing a lot of these. 6s. And not getting enough. That's 8 plus 5. That's
13.
dead.
All
Yeah,
right.
dead to the wound.
All right, all skill.
2 scale right there.
And then I'm going to suffer 4 mortal wounds. Next, the Lord Arcanum is just going to cast the War Scroll spell Healing Light. Goes off on a 5.
Try to unbind it. Gonna do.
All right, so don't get that. Then Ionis is going to auto-chant Translocation. And he's just going to go back here. Then I'll jump into movement. Then into shooting, Ionis is going to shoot at these witches.
Somebody sitting on 6s.
3s. 3s. 5 at round 2, so 5 damage.
6s. Taking 3.
And then the Vigilors are going to shoot at the other witches that they're in combat with. Just 3 at round 1.
Saving 1. 6s. Takes 2.
Then let's jump into charging, and we'll start with Ionis. The 6, you can use the CP. Into a 7, he fails. I do gotta charge those Vindictors for a 5. And I'll start off combat with these Vindictors, and we'll go for all-out attack.
The first unit of Vindictors deals 5 damage to the witches, but they suffer 2 mortals from auspicious strikes. The witches and warlocks eventually take down 3 more Vindictors, while the other unit of Vindictors takes down 3 Doomfires. Lastly, the Vigilors deal 4 damage and take down 2 more warlocks. Then in Battle Shock, 1 unit of witches uses Inspiring Presence, while the other unit and a unit of warlocks both flee.
All right, so an interesting turn there. Obviously started off with a Blizzard, which was big for taking down a Cauldron, letting me kind of focus on the other units. I'm not taking the center objective by any means, I didn't plan to, but I just want to get rid of your units, which I did a pretty good job at. I didn't disrupt the Battle Shock phase, so you're able to inspire your witches. There was a world in which, like, of those 4 units, they all would have gone, so I was trying to chip them all and whatnot. But I still did a pretty good job of it. I did enough to take this objective, even though Ionis failed his charge.
Yep.
What a chump. It does give me 2 objectives, so I'm scoring 5 points, only down 1. My Lord Arcanum on the Griff Charger, again, did the Blizzard, and then he teleported to set himself up for another potential Blizzard next turn. He did take 4 mortal wounds, though, so that's dicey, but on a double, I could be right back in it, in a way.
For sure.
So,
In a big way, yeah.
Yeah, that's where we're at right now. Mark into priority for turn 4.
Spicy Prio.
That's a 6. Oh, 6s, you and ties.
I have to take it. Yeah, I need to get outside of Blizzard. I gotta capitalize this turn for sure. Yeah, it's gonna be a rough one though for me. I don't think I have a lot of battle tactics here, so I gotta figure that out.
Okay, cool. Well, we will jump into
Daughters of Khaine.
turn 4.
So I'll be doing Purge the Flock. It's one of the new ones from the Army of Renown, and all I gotta do is get a unit to take an objective back and have no enemy models contesting it. Yeah. So I'm gonna pick this objective.
Pretty easy tactic here.
Especially when you teleport. Yeah, especially when you teleport, for sure. Heroic action, so I'm just gonna try and go for a CP. I get it.
And then a Heroic Recovery on my Lord Arcanum for healing 1.
The Doomfire Warlocks cast the Bloodrack Viper, but are again unbound. Then the Cauldron chants to curse the Vigilors. Next, the Croneseer uses Prophecy of Silence on the Cauldron, so enemy units within 3 inches of it can't use commands. Then she also chants for Auspicious Strike on the Cauldron, so ones to hit against it will reflect that weapon's damage to the attacker.
All right, on to movement phase.
First, they are soul burnt, yeah, from Ionis. I roll a 5 though, and they don't care.
Okay, and on to shooting.
The Cauldron of Blood shoots at the Vigilors, taking down 2, while the Warlocks deal no damage.
No other shooting. On to charges, starting with the Blood Cauldron.
After charging in, the Cauldron is first to attack and takes out the Vindictor and 1 Vigilor, though the Stormcast Force uses Call to Aid to revive a unit of Vindictors. The lone Vigilor fails to deal any damage, then is finished off by the High Gladiatrix.
Not bad. End of my turn. So I guess I should recap. Not too bad here, not too shabby. Because this objective here was kind of empty and there for the taking, you have a unit that can teleport. What do? You teleport them on.
Made the battle tactic pretty easy.
That's the nice thing. We got one of those, Daughters of Khaine, though, has never been a problem with battle tactics.
For sure.
This is actually ironically playing Daughters of Khaine probably on hard mode. It's because it's just a little bit hard to get tactics. But overall, I'm happy I got one, hold 2, hold more. And I have my battle tactic. Everything that kind of needed to go my way there. I just needed to clear out what was there and try to create some distance between myself and Ionis. Didn't do a great job of that, to be honest. Ionis is still moving 14 inches, so that is going to still be a very much big threat. But at least now I don't have to worry about Blizzard happening in this turn. Yet. Yet. If the double comes back, then obviously I have much to fear. But overall, pretty content and happy with it. How it went as far as all that.
Yeah,
So,
you finished off my units over there, but it let me do call for aid, which I was coming at some point
Oh, for sure.
to bring back a
Just
unit.
to bring back a unit and have it back there. Yeah. Part of my thinking it too was I was like, okay, maybe I can push into here and get a bit greedy. And I was like, not a great idea.
And I count as 3 on the objectives now.
And I'll say this in retrospect, there was a really cool play that I think, reflecting on it, and again, brand new for me, is actually to move the Witch Elves here. Although he counts as 3 on the objective right now, the burnt
kind of
offering
turned
in
it
your
off.
turn, so burnt offering allows me to make that unit in your turn that's coming up count as make nothing that's only heroes and monsters for enemy units.
Can
being
contest
contested.
the objective, yeah.
So that would mean that those 4 Witch Elves would be annoying, and you'd have
Yes.
to kill them in order to be able to take back the objective. Things that you learn with this as you go, for sure. It's really cool nonetheless. It's great to have the cauldron now full, so everything has -1 to shoot, and has a 4-up ward against shooting, which is
Nice.
clutch.
Yeah, very solid.
Yeah.
And yeah, getting dicey right now. I mean, but it's not still close enough game for Stormcast to stick with it. We're going into bottom of round 4, and I guess Stormcast turn 4. So my battle tactic here is going to be secure the battlefield. So I have a unit in each table quarter. There's some plays I want to try and make, but first step, we'll go for a heroic recovery on the Lord Arcanum, and he will heal 1 wound.
I'm gonna go for, I believe, finest hour with my cauldron, and I'm rallying, hoping for 6s. 2. Not the spice we were hoping for sure.
The Croneseer then uses the Prophecy of Dark Wings to allow the cauldron to move.
My Lord Arcanum's then going to cast Healing Light, which I get. Unbound.
Unbound.
And then I'll try and cast a Misted Shield, which I fail. Next, Ionis is going to chant Lightning Tempest, which he gets. So I'm going to do D3 Mortals to the Witches for 1. Okay, I'm going to see if it goes to something else. It does. We're going to go to your Crone for 3 mortal wounds.
Saving this on 4s. Nothing.
Let's see if it keeps moving to your Cauldron. No. And then Ionis is going to chant for Translocation, which he gets off. All right, then into shooting. Ionis is going to shoot at your Shadow Stalkers. 3 at night 2.
So going to 5s. Saving 1.
Okay, and then my play for 10 points, we're going to try and charge with Ionis. 11. So we've got a chance at this.
Nice.
All right, so Ionis is going to roar you, which he does. And then he'll use all of attack. We'll jump into combat. 2s and 3s. I should have finest houred him. And 3s. 4 at rend 1. 1 goes through, 2 damage so far. 2s. And 3s. 3 at rend 2.
5s.
2 damage each, so we're up to 8. Time 1 fangs. 1 hit. 1 at rend 3.
Saving on 6s.
3 damage.
So 11 damage total so far. 6-ups. Making 10 damage through. I think that's going to be they're 1 damage each.
All right, we take him out.
Nice. Well done.
So I wouldn't, you can't use Inspired Presence, so I just needed to kill enough that they were going to flee, but Ionis did enough work here. By millimeters, you were outside of the reducing damage by 1.
Oh yeah.
Because that's probably 5 damage less there. You
Totally.
And that play might not happen. Because not only did I want to take the objective, but I had to end the turn outside of 6. Which if I'm in combat, I wouldn't do that. So it was a bit risky. Made a big charge. It happened. So we're getting 5 points here.
That's big.
And with Pariah, I could get another 5. So it's interesting. We're kind of all in, set up for Blizzard again.
For sure.
Let's just jump into the Pariah roll.
Pariah,
5.
1.
Mine's cocked. I just got to beat a 1.
Gotta beat a 1.
Mark, you and ties?
Oh no. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna take it. Oh no!
Heartbreak.
Heartbreak, devastation.
But we'll jump into Daughters of Pain, turn 5.
Holy cow. It's going to be a crazy one. My battle tactic is going to be another one from the book, and it's called Proclamation of Moorhead. I have to essentially use more command points than more command abilities than my opponent.
Okay.
Hard one to do, for sure, but we're going to try. My heroic action is going to be to try and get into the CP, so maybe I can do more. Let's see. No, I do not get it.
All right, and I'll go for Finest Hour on my general.
Makes sense.
I'm going to rally the Vindictors.
Yep.
I get one back, actually.
Nice.
The Croneseer then uses Prophecy of Reclamation on the witches, so that only enemy heroes and monsters can contest the same objective. Next, the Doomfire Warlocks have Doomfire Unbound, and the Croneseer chants for Wings of the Crone Goddess on the Cauldron, letting it move with fly. Then lastly, the Cauldron chants for Auspicious Strike on the witches.
That's it for my hero face stuff. On to movement.
Vindictors are going to redeploy 1 inch.
They're not going to charge, because why would they? And then we're just going to go right into combat.
While the Cauldron uses all-out attack and its target defends, it is eventually able to finish off the Lord Arcanum.
Man, everything happened the way I needed it to.
Yeah.
It was looking a little scary for a moment. For me, I didn't get my battle tactic, and that was the problem that I had with this turn. I knew it was unlikely going second that I was going to get it.
You said you could have gone for magical dominance. In this situation, you would have failed it anyways.
Exactly. So I was really debating the two, and it made no difference. I'm already on my last leg as far as being able to do any kind of battle tactic. I was just happy to be able to get to stop 3 points here.
Yeah.
It was just there, and I was like,
and I threw it there, so I had the Blizzard on the double.
Totally.
But in hindsight, I didn't need the double as desperately as I thought I did at the time. So it wasn't.
Totally.
I didn't need to risk it. That was silly.
So just being able to remove that means now, like, okay, great. I know I have 3 points off, and I think Jordan is in a position where he could potentially deny me another 3, but me dropping down to 3 points here would mean that Jordan needs to absolutely get 5 points, which I think is still very possible for him.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll go into turn 5.
Yeah, it's dicey. We're still lots to play for. We're gonna figure out if we can pull it off as we jump into Stormcast turn 5. Alright, so I'm going to go for Reprisal as my battle tactic. Again, silly play of leave my general out there. Also, not in range for Surround and Destroy anymore, so Reprisal is the name of the game, and we're going to go for Finest Hour with Ionis.
I already did Finest Hour on the Cauldron, so I guess I'm going to try and heal. What is it called? Heroic Recovery. Do you get it? And I heal back.
The Croneseer then uses the Prophecy of Silence on the Cauldron, which will stop units within 3 inches of it from using commands.
Alright, Ionis is going to go for Translocation, which he gets. And then he's going to go for Lightning Tempest and fail it. So that's that. I'm just going to move these guys up to hunt some witches. Into shooting, I'm going to shoot at these guys. 9 shots.
-1 Infernal defense here.
It's going to be 6, I run 2.
Let's see it. 5 damage going through.
Okay.
Big. Needing a lot of 6s here.
Oh, 2 6s.
2 6s, just enough.
You have no CP though.
Yeah.
So he could still run to Battle Shock and deny the Grand Strat.
Oh, 1 left with 1 wound.
And then all it comes down to basically is I would have an attempt at a long charge mark to get in there, do my combat and everything. Anything you want to do at the start of combat or start of the charge phase?
Start of the charge phase. I'm going to move on a 2-up. And I do.
So that's with the Crone's ability.
Yeah.
The Cauldron's full, so you're emptying it, getting to do it another time. And the Cauldron's moving out of my charge range. And then that's basically, because you did that, I still hold this one. You're not turning off this objective, which is another option, so I had to set up to charge the witches.
For sure.
Do you want to roll? Let's roll a charge, actually. Anyways, an 8. He could get in here. He's going to, whether or not he kills her, takes the objective.
Punch her out, yeah, for sure.
So that's basically going to be at the end of my turn because I'm going to fail the battle tactic.
Absolutely.
You can roll Battle Shock. Actually, you know what?
I'm good. Because I rolled a 5.
So he doesn't flee.
Yep.
Which is going to mean you get your grand strategy.
Correct.
Obviously, I needed to do it with the Lightning Tempest. That's why I teleported rather than moving, because with moving I would have had a better charge, but wanted the teleport for Lightning Tempest. So I felt like I needed the Lightning Tempest and the shooting to take these guys out.
Yeah.
Set myself up for a long charge, but we were talking through it. We knew you were going to be able to move, but there was no way I could get hold 1, 2 more, and my battle tactic, while also killing this unit. Totally. So I needed to kind of do 2 things with Ionis.
Yeah.
And the only other battle tactic I could have done is kill a hero with a Redeemer unit, but similarly, you could have moved both of those heroes.
Totally.
And then I don't kill them with Redeemers.
Here's the funny part. Even if Jordan had gotten Ionis into that unit on a 3-up, they could just run away.
Yeah.
2d6.
Well, I wasn't going to go into them. I just was going to stay within 12 so I couldn't inspire.
Yeah, I can inspire.
Yeah, but so that all doesn't matter. Basically, I'm getting my hold 1, hold 2, hold more. I'm going to fail my battle tactic. The other thing I was kicking myself for, not only risking my grand strategy there, when in hindsight I didn't need to, but had I left these guys a little further over or made a 3-inch redeploy instead of a 1, I still could have done Surround and Destroy. I could have gotten 5 points still by just teleporting Ionis automatically over here.
Totally.
He takes that objective and either roasts them.
So, and with that, again, this is what makes this so cool. Because even if you were to do that, you abandon this objective, right?
Then you move on to
on a 3, exactly, on a 2-up, this thing moves 14 inches and gets onto the objective, taking it back. It's so crazy what this can do.
So we didn't see a lot of it during the game early, I think, because you were just kind of more limited in what you were trying to do. We saw the movements in that.
Yeah.
But here, when it's down to a few pieces left, we really see I had battle tactics available. I had storing available options. I could deny your grand strategy. But literally because of the options that you had with the Crone, I could not do all of those in any scenario.
Totally.
And I needed all, I needed to do 3 out of 3. I need to do my battle tactics, store, hold more, and deny this.
Sure.
Would have won the game if I did, if I could have done it all. But literally the different flexible options of that, in addition to, hey, if I don't make that risk, let alone my general on finest hour, I rolled 4 out of 6 ones to save, to die. Otherwise, good chance I lived through that, to be honest, at +2 to save.
Yeah.
So kicking myself, but
2, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Didn't need to risk that, but could have easily survived there anyways. I would have got my grand strat. I would have only needed to score 3 points on the turn to win.
Totally.
So kicking myself for that. Again, just thinking I was in a worse spot than I was, mostly because I wasn't necessarily thinking about your battle tactics. Yeah. I didn't know that you didn't have a good one for the last turn.
Totally.
So that's always something important to be aware of.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, had I have 1 turn 5 prio, I automatically would have stored my battle tactic, stored 2 and more.
Absolutely.
And been able to teleport away from my grand strategy after doing a blizzard.
Yeah.
So turn 5 prio, and I think I have a good shot at winning it.
Yeah.
But that's how close it is. The margins are in a game like this, right?
Yeah, so totally. Yeah, and that's the fun of. Okay, so if you want a PhD, play this. If you have a PhD, play this because it's really cool. What the new book gives you is a really cool option. If you love Doomfire Warlocks, there is crazy builds that you can. This definitely opens up crazy builds. I could definitely see people running 2 blocks of 15 Doomfire Warhawks, which is a crazy thing to say, which is something I would never say before. And because of Battle Line, you can now do that.
Yeah.
And the fact that they just on a 3-up piece out is amazing. Look what it did with Ionis. It put Ionis completely out
Well,
for a whole turn. Like,
and didn't effectively get anything out of it.
yeah. It meant he had a pointless combat here that really didn't do much
That
for him.
unit survived and was
It did
a
a bunch of different
nuisance.
things. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's really cool to see. Now, like, is this the most competitive build? I have no idea. I imagine there's going to be somebody who will be able to take this to a tournament and go 5-0 with it for sure. Who is just a master tactician, because this is a tactician's dream.
It's very techy.
It's so techy. The margins for errors is insane too, because you have to be like wholly within 6 of the cauldron, within 9 inches, if you do it wholly within 9 to be able to make it do a thing. You have to do it at the start of the phase. You can do it at the start of any phase. Like, you have to remember that it's full, it's this, it's like so many things. And if you love having a unit that does more mortal wounds to your opponent when they're attacking you,
Yes.
than when they go in,
That is a great prayer.
that is a great prayer. Auspicious Strike is incredible, because you end up doing more war wounds to yourself. And imagine like you have big units like Balthanos, and you just whiff, and you roll like
Couple ones.
ones, and now all of a sudden you're doing like 14 more wounds to yourself
Yeah.
for going into a unit of 10 Witch Elves. It's a great trade. And that's the nice thing about the min-sized units of Witch Elves. Yeah, overall, I'm impressed. I'm really happy with what this was able to do for sure.
Got to show off a lot of the different abilities.
And what it was able to do for sure. And granted, things went my way as well, all over the place. In definitely like with some saves, I had definitely some crazy moments of like a lot of 6s. Being able to like, my prayers kind of went off regularly. The nice thing is the cauldrons offer +1 to prayer, so I'm praying most of the time on like 3s and 2s.
Pretty reliable.
So pretty reliable. But yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
I definitely think if your daughter's a Khaine player and you have all of this stuff and you've been waiting for the opportunity to not just play Marathi and the Bow Snakes, it's fun.
Good excuse to bring the witches out.
It really is fun. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's really cool to see. Like you said, love seeing different builds with Doc. It's cool to see a completely new sub-faction and different play styles. And obviously, like any of the regiments of renown or armies of renown, you lose some stuff, but you gain other stuff. So this, like the exploding stitches or the auto wound and +1 rend, that was
really
relevant.
cool.
But that was really good.
Yeah.
That was hugely made a difference.
I didn't think it would, to be honest, because I figured I'm playing against Stormcast. You have such high armor saves. What's the big deal?
But that helped push through it. Yeah.
It definitely helped push through. And having Witch Elves reliably on Ren 2, here's the thing. You sacrifice Mindrazor.
Yeah.
But what you sacrifice with Mindrazor, you get in Curse. Think about how many times I could get Curse off in a list like this, and I'm doing straight mortals to you from everything.
And it's on a 3-up rerollable with High Priest.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the High Priest was big there. Her having both the cauldrons had Curse. One thing I didn't do during this game, but it was just because I knew engagements were going to be like 1-to-1, is you can do Dance of Doom as well, make them fight first, which is really cool. That's on their war scroll, and making them fight first is fantastic in something like this.
Yeah.
Makes multiple engagements a possibility when you have one fighting first. So again, flexible, a lot of flexibility. Having Witch Elves being a threat from 18 inches, or 24 inches effectively.
They can,
because you can put them wholly within 9 of a Croneseer, make the burnt offering, move them 6, use the prayer. Now they fly and move 6, and now they move 6 in the movement phase
and run and charge.
So the auto 6 another guy. So you're 24 inches effective range all the way up to your opponent.
Yeah.
The downfall is what do you do once you get there?
Well, you cast the prayer on them, so that even after you kill something, they're dying when they roll ones, hitting it back.
And that's, I think, what you do. Yeah. You literally throw units of 10 Witch Elves in.
Even a big block of 30, I mean, as long as you have ways to inspire, and that's not a risk.
That's the only thing, though, with a big block of 30. And with this list, there was a thought where I had 3 units of 10 and 1 big block of 30. And the reason why I went against it was because you don't have a 4-up rally anymore.
Yeah.
So you take, again, always pluses and minuses. You are giving up some things that are really good about Daughters of Khaine, and getting really awesome other things. But think about how many things get War Scrolls that have like the abilities that this thing produces.
And the flexibility of, like,
yeah, like imagine how many things are like, for example, a dragon. You have to take a dragon or to have terror. And now you're like, I'm gonna put that on Witch Elves.
Yeah.
And now you can't use command abilities, you know what I mean? Incredible.
And I think that one of the biggest ones, as we saw here, is like the manipulation of the objectives.
Yeah.
Of what can store and what couldn't store. Like the objective play and that, like the plays that you could make on the objectives in this final turn was just insane. Like you said, the movement or turning them off for like
Totally.
very strong abilities. Definitely, like you said, it's going to take a lot of experience, knowledge, and repetition to be able to maximize this situational awareness of when to use which one at which time. But
So cool though.
yeah, great game here in the end. It was looking dicey. I wasn't happy about like some of the early game trades with the protectors, but they held you up long enough that I was able to kind of make plays on the other objectives.
Oh, for sure.
But you were able to keep fighting on them as well. So made for a great game here though, Mark. It was awesome showcasing the new stuff, the new Crone and
really
the
fun.
army.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. Thanks for having me on the channel as always, and I can't wait to come back and try something new.
Yeah, it was a blast. Look forward to next time.
Yeah.
But guys, we hope you enjoyed that one as well. Thank you again for watching. If you enjoy our content, don't forget you can get 4 extra battle reports every month by supporting us through the YouTube membership. It means a ton, and it's the best way to support the channel. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you soon in another battle report.